All right, hello everyone. We are back, and this is a video that I'm going to put together to win this account. If you guys haven't seen, I made a post on Golf Clash Notebook saying that I was going to be transferring this account over. So let me kind of show you where this account is at. As you can see, I just haven't had the time to really keep it up. I qualified a couple rounds and just wasn't able to actually progress it through the weekend. It's fallen down to rookie 3, just an FYI. You can see it still has its name change in effect. It will be promoting back up to Pro 1. So the goal that I would like for this account had always been to, get through Tour 8, Tour 9, Tour 10. Right now it's partially through Tour 8. It still doesn't have a Tour 8 loss. But I just really don't have the time or desire to kind of keep going with it. There is pretty good content on my channel. If you haven't been there, if I was to go to my channel, for instance, and go to my playlists, I could sort by course. So each course has certain courses. And if I was to, for instance, pick one of those courses, for instance, Maple Bay, for example, second tee shootouts, that would be the par 3s on Maple Bay. Second tee individual holes, if I needed to find those individual holes, you'll see. And, especially things that have been around for a long time, courses that have been around for a long time. For an example of that would be maybe Oasis. For example, second tee. So if I was to go in here, the one thing to note is the newer content does filter to the bottom. So, this up here might be some of the more earlier content. As you scroll down, you'll always find the later items added in, kind of like a K. Every time I add a new thing to the playlist, it sorts to the bottom. So that is kind of a misconception as to kind of the way that it works. Like people, I guess, go into a playlist, they might start right at the top. Well, that means that you're looking at my oldest content for that course. So moving down to the bottom is going to find the newest stuff because that's the way that YouTube filters. But, for instance, if I was to go into a tour and see the courses, so Tour 8, Vineyard Acres, Glen Monarch Estate, Eagle Peak, and also Middle Tee. So that would be second tee box. So for instance, I would just find those playlists if I wanted to find that content. The main reason that I've sorted that is because they've changed to where they sort the tours. They just change the content too regularly at this point. Every couple months, they seem to change the 3 courses that are in there. So because of that fact, I don't put together tour playlists anymore because it's the only way to guarantee my content always stays relevant and you don't have to worry about it having inaccurate information to where I don't have to keep updating tours. So that's the reason that it has the courses in like that. But as I mentioned, kind of my original goal for this account was to just be able to take it into Pro, take it into Expert as soon as possible to be able to start getting those unlocks. Another thing, in terms of trophy count, if you can get through Tour 8, get it to that 2,300, you'll be able to start unlocking it, the Thor's Hammer in the shop, and that's something you can see I'm 9 cards away from a 3. Getting that to a 3 would be kind of critical. So you can see that I've kind of just slowly been building up my gems just by unlocking those free chests. And if you're able to hold on to some gems and get that Thor's Hammer up to a 3 by getting to that, and the easiest way to make that happen will be able to get the trophy count up to 2,300 and just wait for it to appear in shop, which typically comes maybe the first week that you get to that. It seems like it's programmed to just kind of give you that first Thor's Hammer in the shop. So that has always been kind of one of my guides of something that I've been trying to do. But this account has been entirely free to play, which means no money has ever been spent. So what I've basically been doing is I just haven't had the time to play it. You can see the last 2 tournaments that I actually entered, I actually didn't even end up finishing the content for it. I qualified and then didn't play the account. Probably hurt my ball inventory a little bit in doing that. So I do kind of regret that a little bit, that I even, took the time to get into the tournament. But as you can see, it still has 50 Titans. It was up to about 100, but I did put together some content, whether it be in tour or the tournament. I started going through a little bit of that inventory, but with 50 balls, you can go in pro 1 or 2 more times, get that ball count up with this account, get it back up close to 100, similarly to the strategies that you've seen. If you haven't seen the content with this, it is on there. There's a playlist on here. It has every video I've ever played with that account. So finding it, where is it? Road to Glory free-to-play account. So right here, 36 videos. There's plenty of coverage. This is from the very first match that I ever played. Well, I forfeited the match and just took the loss on that for the very first. But if you want to go to the very beginning, from match 2 on, all the matches are shown here. And you'll see that, Tour 1, Tour 2, Tour 3, Tour 4, all the way up. And then here's where I start to kind of label them so you can kind of follow along. You can see at part 6, this is where I'm kind of in the middle of Tour 4, and then Tour 4 is closed in part 7, so forth. And then you'll also see kind of some of my tournament strategy coming up. So there you can see the South Coast. There's plenty of content in here showing you each and every hole this account has played, to show you that there's kind of nothing shady along the way. There's never been an instance. So I still have yet to lose 2 straight matches. And you can validate that by going in and seeing, my tournament history and tour history from each match, from one match to the next. You can see as my win percentage just kind of, you can follow game to game. There's never been a time where this account has lost back-to-back times. What does that tell you? It pretty much tells you that you don't have to spend money to win, because this account has spent no money. But also, it's not programmed to make you go on losing streaks. The people that are playing you, and if they're beating you, one of 2 things happens. You either, play a couple guys who may get lucky and actually, get a hole out from, maybe even with a great ball, it might just go in the hole. And, but if you look at the law of averages, that's not going to happen very often. It could potentially happen to you a couple times, but if you hit the shots, you control your own destiny. Like, you can hole out for eagle on the par 4 to, avoid the shootout, or, getting that hard eagle on the long par 5 could sometimes project you to, beating your opponent outright, to where you don't leave yourself that opportunity for them to beat you on the shootout. So that's the important thing to take. There's been no evidence that I've ever seen to make me believe that this game is programmed to make you lose. It's more likely that you're not hitting the shot necessary to beat your opponent, and your opponent either has you outmatched and understands the game better than you, or you just didn't execute the shot to the highest degree to win that shot. So if you go through my shootout, you can see every match that this account has ever done. And, here's kind of the balls and clubs that I've been doing it with. Nothing here is exceptional. Okay, if you watch my videos, I'm out-clubbed every single match that I ever play. There's almost no exception. Whether it's a tournament, whether it's a tour play, I almost every time am out-clubbed, and yet I can still compete with this at a very high level. So it just goes to show you, always try to continue your knowledge and get better as a player, and that'll be the secret to your success, is being able to do that. Without much further ado, I wanted to let you know that I will be passing this account over to one lucky participant. So the one thing that I wanted to do, I put a announcement on the Facebook group, Golf Clash Notebook. And I made an announcement saying I'm going to be giving this account away. All you have to do is sign up. So, for instance, if I was to go in here and I was to go to groups, Golf Clash Notebook, you probably find my post somewhere along the way. Right here it is. This was basically all I said is all you have to do is kind of comment, tell me why you want this account. Now, it was kind of hard reading and dissecting all the comments, but I put together a list of all the names of everybody that I could easily see wanted interest in the account. And I took it to a randomizer. So here's all the names that I put together. So if you see your name here, or if you don't see your name here and wanted to be added to the list, I apologize. I tried to do the best that I could. If you weren't clearly stating that, you were interested in the account, then I may have missed your name. But I tried to grab everybody who I could clearly see definitely had interest in the account and put together this full list. Here's how the rules are going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to randomize this list. And on the third time, after it says, you've randomized this list third time, whoever's the name in the first position at the very top of the list, that is going to be the person that I win. I wanted to keep it as fair as possible to let everybody have the opportunity to win this and didn't want to play any favoritism as to who won. So with that being said, that's how the rules are going to work. So without much further ado here, let's go ahead and randomize this list. So I just hit the button and you'll see that there was 31 items in my list and here they are in random order. So that's one randomize. And as I mentioned, on the third time, whoever's at the top, that is going to be our winner. So here I'm going to randomize again. Just waiting for this to respond. There it is. And here you can see, and it also tells me that at the bottom here, you have randomized this list 2 times. As I mentioned, it's going to be the third time. So the next time I press that button and whatever name returns at the top, that is going to be the account, the name of the person who is going to win the account. So here it comes, third time. Tim Granville, congratulations. You are going to be the claim ownership winner of this account. Good luck with it moving forward. I will reach out to you via private message, and I will also make an announcement on that post and also post this video to YouTube just to authenticate it so everybody can see. So, I want to thank you guys for everybody who supported me along the way and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't seen my channel or haven't subscribed yet and would like to, definitely check that out. I still am trying my best to do the tournament content for you guys. I just don't play the tournaments. So I'll still put out the tournament videos Monday, Tuesday, every tournament, and just try to get you guys on point with the adjustments that you'll need and some strategies, and just try to get you guys honing in on those adjustments and get you fine-tuned. I try to let kind of the player kind of develop their own kind of honing in skills with the way that my content, but I try to get you at least a starting point and say, hey, all you'll have to do is just kind of, just dial in and figure out, if I went 5 rings here and it seems like a little bit too much and the win was 8.4, it gives you a win per ring by just doing that division calculation. 8.4 if it's a win and I went 5 rings, you would just do a math division there and it would tell you, you went 1 point, whatever it is, 4 or 1.5 per ring or 1.6 per ring. I think it works out to 1.6 point something, 1.65 per ring. And, if it's a par 3, that pretty much tells you that, especially if it seems pretty dialed, you'll want to stick with that adjustment, but you may just want to kind of just tweak your ball guide a little bit And that's more or less what I try to do with my channel, is just try to get you that first guide and say, this is probably the shot you want to do. But then take it upon yourself to just kind of fine tune that calculation. And if you can get perfect ball, there's a good chance that you can, either make it or give it a good run each and every time. And that's kind of the tournament strategies that I set up for people. So again, if you haven't checked out my content and would like to, I do it for all tournaments. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. And, hopefully I'm going to continue to, help you guys out the best that I can. So good luck out there. Congratulations, Tim. I will reach out to you shortly. So take care, all.